The following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting at Western Illinois University.
Coming up on Live at 4, this year's Color Craze 5K is just around the corner. We'll have the details on the race that puts the fun in fundraiser. And a new program at WIU's bookstore aims to save students money on textbooks. Also, this weekend's forecast might launch us into the high 70s, but not without some showers. News 3's Nick Stewart has your first look. All that and more, now.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
Illinois' budget troubles plague one organization with pivotal ties to the Macomb community. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4.
Among the several $100 million cuts proposed by the state last month was a huge chunk from the public transportation. Governor Rauner's proposed budget cuts could force Amtrak to cut some of their state-funded train routes. That's according to the testimony by the House Appropriations Public Safety Committee at a hearing in Springfield. The proposed 40% cut in state funding to Amtrak would likely mean a reduction in some routes. Two of the possible routes that could be affected are the Carl Stanberg and the Illinois Zephyr. The closure of these two rails would eliminate a major form of transportation for Macomb and the surrounding areas. WIU students and officials worry that the removal of mass transit would leave many without an option to get to campus.
Not having an Amtrak line to the city and to this university, I think would have devastating effects. But the train service is just essential to our growth and for us to remain vital.
The proposed funding would revert Amtrak's budget back to 2013 levels, $26 million from the current $42 million. Last week, lawmakers in downstate Carbondale rallied to support protection of Amtrak funding. Talks of rallies in Macomb and Quincy have also been proposed.
All right, now this is the kind of day we have looked forward to since January, February, March, even last week.
No jacket required, but keep those umbrellas handy for this weekend. News 3's Nicholas Stewart is in the Storm Team 3 Weather Center with his first forecast.
Nick, it's clear outside right now. Hard to believe that Sunday is actually looking a little bit messy.
Yeah, we're even some talk of some severe thunderstorms on Sunday as well. But for right now, let's kind of enjoy the springtime. Think back to January of this time last year. We were actually in the -degree range for our high temperature back in January. But look outside right now, you can see those beautiful sunshine. Clear, just a few of those fair weather cumulus clouds moving through. We're at 71 degrees at this hour. Humidity values are on the rise ahead of the approaching storm system. Look at the current satellite radar composite. You can see those fair weather cumulus clouds moving through the region. That'll continue to be the case for the day and into tonight. And temperatures with that sunshine are moving well into the 70s. There's even a talk of 78 degrees by upwards of tomorrow. So we'll take a look at your full forecast in just a couple minutes, guys. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Nick. It's looking like we've got some nice weather in store for a classic fundraiser on Saturday. The fan favorite Color Craze 5K will benefit the Special Olympics. The race is scheduled to begin at 9 a.m. at Vince Grady Field. Color stations will be set up at the race where participants will be covered in safe and edible paint. After the 5K, the event will continue with music and a Zumba party. Registration now $50 a person. Sign me up for that Zumba. I'm a big fan of Zumba. I want in.
A Zumba party. That does sound pretty cool.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
With Earth Day less than a week away, a local organization is holding a celebration to educate people about protecting the environment. Campus Greens will present its third annual Earth Fest in Chandler Park this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This year's activities will include a bags tournament, educational booths, yoga in the park, and live music bands from all over Illinois. This event will be free for students and to the community.
This fall, incoming WIU students are expected to pay costs of over $21,000 a year. In the early 2000s, that cost was about half. School officials say many factors played a role in this increase, and News 3's Mark Gorski has more for us.
College rates are higher than ever, and more students are worried about the rising costs for their college education.
So tuition fees, room and board when I went to school was probably closer to 9 to 10, maybe 11,000.
That was the yearly cost about 20 years ago, and that has at least doubled since then.
There's actually several factors. One is just general inflation. The cost of goods and services rise every year. We have to raise tuition and raise fees and raise room and board to have enough money to meet those needs.
To some, they think it's fair, but others say they have troubles trying to get by.
When I'm working about 20 to 30 hours, it doesn't even come close to the half of the tuition that we have to pay.
Financial aid has been one way students pay, but not everyone is eligible.
I'm getting loans through the university, but I'm not getting financial aid.
He says it's even tougher for students who don't get any help from their parents.
My girlfriend's dad passed away a few years ago, and the way that they work it, her mom doesn't help her out at all, so it's all on her.
It's not any easier for students to compete in sports. Of the 400 student athletes here on campus, only 150 of them are here on full ride.
The majority of our student athletes are here on their own dime and just want to compete at the collegiate level.
Western's tuition rate is about 34% more than the national average, so Bierman encourages incoming students to come in with a plan. For News 3, I'm Mark Gorski.
The Board of Trustees recently approved a 1.7% increase in tuition for new undergraduates coming in the fall.
And seniors received a final lesson from the WIU staff for grad prep this afternoon in the Union. Volunteers had information every student needs to know for their big day and beyond.
I'm here today from the Financial Aid Office doing presentations for Grad Prep Day for graduating seniors so that we can prepare them as far as students who have taken out loans in the past so they know who their loan servicer is, what to expect when they have to start paying those loans back.
Financial information is available for students through the Office of Financial Services. More information can be found online or at their office in Sherman Hall 127.
It's no secret that college students nationwide are struggling with the rising cost of textbooks.
News 3's Desire Stewart reports how WIU is planning to make a change to their bookstore operations to help students.
With the students' college tuition already being expensive, it makes it hard for the students to afford the required textbooks being sold at bookstores.
Paying $100 and some for a book I'm only going to use for one semester is a little overpriced. So I go to Chegg and get it for half off.
Director of the Union Bookstore, Jude Kaya, noticed the hesitation from the students.
We know that our students are not getting all of their books, mostly because it's become a financially elastic decision, which means I'm choosing between that book and my food.
According to the U.S. News report, it said that the textbook pricing has increased to 82% during the last decade. Kaya has come up with a solution called the Universal Book Program.
We're after getting those books in students' hands day one. We're making an unconscious decision and save them money. So we're going to attach it to their financial aid rather than something that they would pay for out of their pocket later.
With the program in place, the next step is getting the students' opinion.
So the next step that we have to take with this program is a referendum to the students in which they would vote to move the fee from their own pocket, meaning the out-of-pocket that they have now, to an actual fee that will be assessed per credit hour.
The program is expected to take action for the fall of 2016. For News 3, I'm Desire Stewart.
If you've been around Macomb lately, you may have noticed many brightly colored bulldog statues modeled after WIU's beloved mascot, Colonel Rock III. In the fall, you'll see even more of them. This is because the amount of sponsors for the public art project has nearly doubled. Creator of Rocky on Parade, Bill Howard, tells us the town will have 23 statues unveiled at the Town and Gown event on September 24th. The colorful bulldogs will be shown in the WIU Homecoming Parade on October 3rd. Those sponsors will get to pick from more than 24 artist designs. The Rock on Parade artist drafts will be held in the University Union Heritage Room next Tuesday beginning at 5 p.m. The event is open to the public and admission is $5.
Move more, eat less. Sounds like the right way to shed some unwanted poundage.
But maybe you're not getting the best use of your time. Coming up, the changes you might want to consider making to your Get Fit routine for the best results.
And no, this is not a foggy sunrise. It's far more displeasing. Where this video was shot and the cause, next.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
Stories, they happen everywhere. At News 3, we go the distance and tell them firsthand Across the region.
The tornado tore through a neighborhood in Washington, Illinois.
Across the state.
Here at the state capitol in Springfield for the gubernatorial race.
Across generations.
We have a lot of people that are very dedicated. We're all volunteers.
The stories that inform us, the stories that move us, the stories that matter from a fresh perspective.
I think NEWS3 is great. It's all one common goal. Everybody's trying to be #1. Last year, we were #1 in the nation. We beat out Florida and Oklahoma. I get to work with so many professionals. It's a really great experience, and they're always there to help, and it's just all around fun. Jasmine Crichton really does make it a real-life experience that, most schools maybe not, they don't offer that.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. The pressure's too much. I quit. I get it. I can do better. Just please, don't leave.
Don't let your heart quit on you. Get your uncontrolled high blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late.
That's low. That's low.
Now from Macomb in high definition, you're watching Emily Manley, Johnny Cather, Storm Team 3's forecast with Nicholas Stewart, and sports with Jeff Marta. Live at 4 continues.
Today marks 8 years passing since the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. Students at Virginia Tech are gathered across campus today to honor the lives of those lost back in 2007. A candlelighting ceremony was held this morning at 12:01, where officials read the names of those lives lost. A 3.2-mile run will take place Saturday to pay tribute to the 32 victims of the tragedy.
A group of World War II heroes are given Congress's highest civilian honor Wednesday, the Congressional Gold Medal. Retired Lieutenant General John Hudson received the medal on behalf of the airmen of the Doolittle Tokyo Raiders. The airmen flew B-25 bombers off an aircraft carrier in a daring raid on Japan during World War II. 3 airmen died during the raid and several others were captured by the Japanese. Lieutenant Colonel Richard Cole and Staff Sergeant David J. Thatcher are the only 2 surviving members of the raid. They plan to attend a Saturday ceremony at Wright-Patterson Air Force in their honor.
You may be exercising, but are you doing it effectively? Many people are not getting the most from their workout. CNN's Holly Furfer takes a look at some long-standing cardio myths.
What's your favorite exercise? If you love doing cardio, great. But be warned, it might not be all it seems. What do we mean? Well, first of all, if you think cardio is the only way you're going to lose weight, think again. Now, we know losing weight is a numbers game. Calories in must not exceed calories out. If you add in weight training to the cardio exercise, you'll build lean muscle, and that will help boost your metabolism and burn more fat. And speaking of building muscle, myth number 2. Okay, I ran or I biked, so I don't need to do leg exercises today. Wrong. So in order to get that metabolic burn in the legs, you're going to need to do things like squats or leg lifts or even lunges. Okay, myth number 3. Do you think you have to work out for an hour in order for cardio exercise to be effective? Well, you don't. Doctors say any cardio exercise is good for you and your heart. And not only will you burn calories fast, but you're likely to burn calories for up to 38 hours after the workout because you've revved up that metabolism. But no matter what you do, doctors say, you know what, getting up, getting moving is essential to good health. For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
It's tough to breathe easy in largely polluted cities like Beijing, but the world's worst air can be found some 2,400 miles to the west. The World Health Organization announced this week the city of New Delhi in India measured for the highest level of air pollution across the 1,600 cities around the globe. Just look at this incredible video taken today. The city's average pollution level was, get this, nearly triple of Beijing and more than 10 times the amount of New York City, which is just crazy. The World Health Organization says New Delhi's pollution level is 15 times greater than safe for humans, which is ugh.
Scary stuff. Hopefully they can get that under control. All right, a small taste of summer lies right in front of us.
But by the finish of the weekend, a change of tone is expected.
The Storm Team 3 forecast with Nicholas Stewart coming up next.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours.
Dr. King, what's your next move? In March from Selma to Montgomery.
Selma is loud for every man, woman, and child. We will not wait any longer. In front of the crowd.
Thine eyes have seen the glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Welcome back to Live at 4. The man himself, Nicholas Stewart, is in with us now. And Nick, give us the weather.
All right, so we got a whole mixed bag of weather in the next few days here. We got the summer-like weather tomorrow. We got storms coming up ahead. But right now, we're just enjoying the really beautiful weather of spring. Taking a look outside, you can see those fair weather cumulus clouds moving through the area. Temperatures are in the low 70s. We're at 71 degrees right now in Macomb. Looking across the region, you can see these very clear conditions across the entire Midwest. We're going to be enjoying it for at least the next several hours, maybe for the next several days. Further off, though, to the west, you can see the severe weather. That's our weather system that's slowly making its way here. This yellow box here, that's your severe thunderstorm watch that's in place. All that moisture is going to slowly be moving its way to the tri-state region. That'll be our weather upcoming this weekend. But look at these temperatures right now. 73 in Davenport, 76 degrees in St. Louis at this hour. Those reds down there, those are your 80-degree temperatures. That's all slowly drifting our way. We're going to be beautiful conditions tomorrow. You can see right now we do have this low pressure center. That's your source for all that storm and showers and thunderstorm activity well off to our west. A cold front here, that's what's going to knock our temperatures down after this weekend. But for now, we got to enjoy the warmth. Low pressure center is allowing all this warm air moving into our region. It's going to be beautiful conditions today. For tomorrow, the high pressure really sets up over our area. It's going to really help clear out the clouds. We'll be like mostly sunny skies tomorrow. But again, that storm system is moving into our region, slowly approaching us. For the weekend is when things start to get a little bit more interesting. Saturday, you can look at the showers and thunderstorms beginning to increase. We'll have basically a round early on in the morning on Saturday, and then perhaps isolated showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon on Saturday. Not a very large accumulation of rain, but you could be looking at a few showers here and there. But through the next several hours, you can see Macomb sitting right here. This is a red dot. We're sitting right on the edge of your heavier precipitation totals, upwards of 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. Very beneficial rain moving to the regions off to our west. For tonight, locally, we'll be at 50 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, 77 beautiful degrees. We're knocking on the 80s door. Next several days, though, you can see in that cooling trend, the cold front moves through on Sunday. Ahead of that cold front, though, you could be looking at some strong to severe thunderstorms moving to our region. Temperatures back into the 50s by the beginning of next week, though.
It's crazy to think that we were just wearing jackets and now we're almost at 80 degrees outside.
It's beautiful. I'm still confused. I'm always wearing a jacket to class still.
And you even know what's going on. All you do is look at this stuff.
It was a long winter.
It really was.
Thank
yeah.
you guys.
We're going to throw it over to Colleen for sports.
Coming up next in sports, we'd say thank you to one Leatherneck who finally decided to walk away from the game. Later, the first round of the NHL playoffs started last night, and boy did they start off with a bang. Stick around for the dramatic finish between the Blackhawks and the Predators.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And shelter pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Now, how do you make it happen? Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Cheers. Take time to be a dad today.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back. I'm Colleen Judge with sports, filling in for Jeff Marta. WIU football loses incoming redshirt senior J.J. Raffleson due to injuries. Raffleson is still recovering from season-ending elbow surgery he got last season. Western will have to replace the middle linebacker who finished fourth on the team with 63 tackles, averaging 7 a game during the 2014 campaign. Raffleson is finishing up his internship requirements and plans to graduate next month with a degree in law enforcement justice administration. The Western Illinois softball team hosted Missouri Wednesday night. It was the first Division I team the Leathernecks have hosted since the 2013 season. The Leathernecks battled but dropped Game 1 15-4, but then turned around 30 minutes later to take on Mizzou in Game 2. The Leathernecks struggled offensively until the fourth inning when they got a run. Pitcher Brooks Stolga settled into the game after allowing 4 runs, 2 which were earned in the first inning. The freshman held Mizzou to just 4 hits the rest of the game. Due to Mary Ellen McKee Stadium lack of lights, the game ended after the 5th inning. The Leathernecks fell to the Tigers 8-1. The Leathernecks look to bounce back with a win this Saturday, heading to South Dakota State to face the Jackrabbits. Western Illinois is making some big changes, adding some new faces to their athletic programs. Head volleyball coach Kelly Richardson announced the signing of 12 student athletes to join the Leatherneck volleyball program this coming season. Volleyball isn't the only athletic program adding new talent to their rosters next season. Mid's head basketball coach Billy Wright announced the signing of Brandon Gilbeck to Leatherneck family. Along with Gilbeck, forward James Clare signed his letter of intent to play basketball as a Leatherneck this Wednesday as well. We welcome all those new athletes to our Leatherneck family. Around 7 o'clock last night, Nashville was probably one of the loudest cities in the country as their hometown Predators took on the Chicago Blackhawks. The Predators hosting the Blackhawks in Game 1 in the first period with Nashville up 2-0. Colin Wilson scores the second goal of the game to make it 3-0, and Corey Crawford would find himself on the bench to start the second, and Scott Darling would replace in the net. In the second period, the Blackhawks would come back. Jonathan Taves stuffs it into the net to make it 3. In the third, the Nashville nice pass to Ryan Ellis for the one-timer, and Darling with a kick save. Take another look as Darling makes a great save, and it would go to double overtime, and Duncan Keith with the one-timer to end it, and Crawford would be the first person congratulating Darling. The Blackhawks would go on to win double overtime after Duncan Keith made one from downtown, securing the victory 4-3. Game 2 of the series will be back in Nashville on Friday night. The puck drops at 8:30 p.m.
That game was insane. Drew, you were actually over watching it at my house.
Yeah.
You had to leave after the first overtime. It was too late. I had to go to bed. I was falling asleep.
It was probably the longest hockey game I've
That
ever
was
watched
a
in my life.
very, very long game.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
They won.
It was
Yeah,
very
it really
worth it,
was.
especially on the road. That's a crazy victory.
That was a big one for sure. All right.
All right, newborns are constantly learning and exploring.
But doctors helped one little guy do something many of us take for granted.
That and a look at our weekend forecast next.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic. That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone. And every day more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. HSF.net.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
No more pencils, no more books.
No more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org because great things happen when we live united.
Hi, buddy.
Another piece of Another piece of evidence of the greatness of technology. Little boy Elijah Cook is hearing his mother's voice for the first time thanks to a tiny hearing aid. Elijah was born with almost no hearing just 9 weeks ago.
And that is just absolutely incredible. You see his eyes just light up the first time he actually heard something for the first time.
That was very cool that technology can do that.
Yeah, very touching.
Yeah.
Alrighty, the whole crew's up here, but most importantly, Nick, I'm going to the Cardinal game on Sunday.
Yes.
I need to know how bad it's going to be this weekend if it's raining.
Well, we are looking at the chance of severe weather on Sunday. That Storm Prediction Center has outlined an area from Macomb basically all the way down to include St. Louis. Some large hail, damaging wind potential. Your normal severe weather type of things.
Okay.
Welcome to spring. But again, tonight though, more locally, we'll get down to about 50 degrees. Partly cloudy skies, east wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. We're going to transition to summer tomorrow. 77 degrees is the high under partly cloudy skies. Beautiful, beautiful summer day tomorrow. Next 5 days though, we're going to be a cooling trend through the next several days. We're going to drop down into fall at the beginning of next week.
All right, well, I think you kind of made a mistake by going to a Cardinals game in the first place.
Yeah.
So you're actually, this weather might help you out. You might not have to go anymore.
Bring your poncho, don't forget.
Yeah, I will. Nothing's holding me back from going to that game. All right, thank you for joining us this afternoon. We'll be working throughout the weekend to bring you the latest online.
Join us Tuesday at 4 with Mario and Franny for headlines, weather, and sports.
For Nicholas Stewart, I'm Drew Hoffman.
And for Colleen Judge, I'm Johnny Cather.
Remember, stay with us, news3WAU.com.
Have a great weekend.